And this testis is in a fold of skin, what is called as scrotum or scrotal sac. And this testis is producing sperm, which are then stored in this part here. And that part is called as epididymis or epididymis. This epididymis is for storing the sperm and for maturation. Then from here, it will go into this tube here. What do you call that? Vas deferens or ductus deferens. And this is to transport the sperm here. See, now it goes on the back side. This is the bladder here. On the back side of the bladder here. And this is the seminal vesicle. And these two, they join together here. This gland here, dark color shown here, is what? Prostate gland. So prostate gland is one. There's seminal vesicle, one on this side, one on this side. One. Prostate gland sits in the center. Okay. So you can see here from the outside the glans penis, the penis. And if I open up like this, then you can see the bladder here and the prostate gland here. From the side, I told you the seminal vesicle was there right on the side. So this thing here coming on the side is ejaculatory duct. Ejaculatory duct. And this thing here within the prostate gland is called prostatic urethra. This short one here before penis starts, what do you call that? With an M, membranous urethra. And then the longest one is this one here, spongy urethra or penile urethra. It opens to the outside. Notice that this glans penis will be covered by the prepuce or foreskin. This red color and gray color thing here is the erectile tissue. The one immediately outside the urethra, red color one, is called corpus spongiosum, from spongy urethra. The one on the dorsal side, the gray color one, I showed you in the section that two, right? Two bands. And these two bands are called corpora cavernosa, both erectile tissue. Bulbourethral gland is not shown very well here, so you can ignore that. Corpus gland. Any questions on this part here? It's the same thing, but it may look a little different. You can see the testes here, right? See epididymis here. And then you see this vas deferens going like this. Seminal vesicle here, right? Seminal vesicle on the back side. There's a prostate gland here. Prostate. And like that. Okay. This one shows better than others. See, this is a glans penis here. Glans penis, and it's covered by this. This is the prepuce. Castration of the circumcision of the male. Castration is to remove those parts. Circumcision of the male is simple, because this fold of skin, it goes over the glans penis, it covers the glans penis. So just to give it a small cut and push it back is called circumcision of the male. It is done in some societies, not in other societies. And scientific thinking goes that if anything, it may be helpful, because then those bacteria and microbes that can hide inside the skin here, that cannot hide. But in any case, during intercourse, then this will be turned back anyway later on. So, but in the female, circumcision of the female is a very troublesome thing, because then they will cut the vagina with a blade many times in the villages, and they will stitch or cut it so that the female cannot have intercourse. They will leave a small opening so that the menstrua can come out every month. So that's very, very torturous. In many parts of the world, it's still being practiced, though it is, and they feel okay in those villages. The ladies do it, elderlies do it. So. In the female, you see the ovary here. One side ovary shown, the other one will be on the other half, right? So this is the ovary here. And this ovary produces the egg and the female sex hormones. Those eggs are captured by this tube here. This tube is infundibulum. And what are those finger-like structures here? With an F, fimbriae, right? Those finger-like structures. And the idea is to capture the egg, ovulated egg. The middle part of the tube is called as the ampulla. The middle part of the fallopian tube. Ampulla, this is where fertilization takes place between sperm and the egg. The third part, which goes into uterus, kind of narrow, is called isthmus. This is the uterus here, and the bladder here. In the uterus, notice this part here, fundus, and this main part here, let's move this. This is the fundus here. This is the main part, the body. And this part is the cervix. And this canal is called a cervical canal. It goes to vagina. And from the bladder goes the urethra. So urethral orifice, vaginal orifice. Urethral orifice is compared to vagina, opening is much smaller. And this structure here is the clitoris. This small structure here. If you put this back here, you see clitoris here. Okay, so you can see here the clitoris, right? And this thing here shown is kind of vestibular gland, but I don't know if you have that name in the handout or not. So the two folds are this smaller one on the inside, the bigger one on the outside. The smaller one is called as labia minora, the bigger one labia majora, and this part here is kind of slightly bulging out like a mound, is called mons pubis. The part within this labia minora is called as vestibule. The part within the labia minora is vestibule, but all of these structures, all of these together are called as vulva. While I'm on this one here, this part here, see this is rectum here, fecal matter, right? So this is the anal opening, and this part here is the part which is referred to as perineum. perineum. So sometimes if during childbirth there's a problem, then they have to give a cut in the perineum. Usually like this, maybe in the side. Right? Okay. Any question on this? Did I show you all the parts that you have in the handout? Endometrium and myometrium in this one here. See this dark lining inner one? Is endometrium, dark one. Outside that, this major part here is the muscle layer, and there is myometrium. Then there is perimetrium, don't worry about that. It's not very useful. Alright? Any questions? So we will do histology tomorrow.